No, grab all. It'll show off.
Hi, good. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? I know, I was off a week. When I announced last week that I'd be away this week, I was ahead of myself. So I apologize. It's me. Yeah. So I'm here today. It's me. And then I'm also subbing for Sue tomorrow. So 9:30, and it's going to be a mixed level flow. So yeah, meaning it won't be as basic as today's class. It'll move maybe a little faster. So some experience of the yoga poses would probably work for you better. So, because 9:30 tomorrow.
So this week here, you're not here next week.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
I'll bring my laptop next week.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, sorry, I guess I was just so excited. Yeah. My friend is kidnapping me. I'm not saying. She's kidnapping me, I don't know.
Oh, she's married.
No, it's one of my best friends, and she lives in Alaska, and it is so hard for us to coordinate seeing each other. So it's been since 2014. I mean, we talk all the time, but so yeah, so it's very special.
She's here.
I'm here. My mistake last week.
Really, nobody was listening, because we're all here, so. Yeah.
How's the temperature? Good. Do we want the lights on or off?
You can turn it down. Yes.
Well, yeah, we can turn these on. Yeah.
But I was informed by a good friend of mine over here that did this class last week that if ever there's a time when there's no instructor, for whatever reason, you can use the on-demand.
So I brought my laptop to do that today, because we've done that for strength class.
Yeah, I mean, because Maura hasn't been here, so they did that. They were able to do the on-demand
In here.
in here. And so I think that was good.
That is great for them.
That's good. Thank you, Rosanna, for sharing that. You're welcome.
So what, and then you project it onto the
Yeah, one of
screen?
your on-demand classes.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. She's here.
Or it could be like a figment of your imagination. I know.
You're late.
I was awfully. I'm away next week.
I'm pleasant surprised.
Oh, thank you.
Me too.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, so now you'll be ahead of the game next week. You've got the plan already set. Nobody online? Wow. Maybe.
They're all here.
I know, yeah. I think I did it correctly.
Last week it was Neil that came on, and he was the one that did it.
He
And we were
did?
Like, who's Neil Fitch? And somebody said, oh, that's Sue. And I'm in the kitchen making granola. Try to do a little bit of ethical stir my granola.
Homemade?
Yeah.
Granola, nice. Yum. Oh, there we go. There's Deb.
Homemade, it's also good.
Aw.
That's good.
Hi, Deb. Thanks for joining us. Go. How's everyone feeling today? Good? Yeah, good, good. All right, so we're gonna continue. Last week we worked on Warrior One, right? A little bit. So we're gonna continue with that warrior theme and work on our side hip openers today instead of front hips. So Warrior One is all about squaring your hips to the front of your mat. Warrior Two is about opening the hips to the side. So we're gonna focus on that a little bit today. So let's start in a comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall, as if there's a string attached to the top of your head, inching your spine up just a little bit. So those of you that are sitting on a block, if I can make a suggestion, instead of like being so suspended, well, one, try, if you don't like crossing the legs, try hero's pose, where you put your block in between your ankles. You come back down so your sit bones are resting on the block. Your knees are coming toward each other. Tops of your feet are on the mat. So, and actually, if everybody wants to try this today, why don't we all take hero's pose? It's a really nice option for a meditative seat, regardless of how long you're going to be in it. So if you have any issues with your knees, then I recommend 2 blocks. So it elevates your seat and it helps you to have more space to bring the knees together. And you want the blocks, again, in between your ankle bones so that your sit bones are on the edge. And see how upright my spine just got. So if you want to, can't do that. Okay, so then if that's too uncomfortable for the knees and you're doing Sukhasana with the blocks, you want to be forward on the block. So you want to be where your sit bones, these 2 bony parts in your gluteus, are sitting on the edge of the mat so that your knees can then fall forward. So you could even do that with 2 blocks. Like so. Well, that's a little hard. You have to bring your feet out a little bit. But the idea is that you want your knees to be falling toward the mat and that your pelvis is tilting forward a little bit, which then helps to create more length in your spine. So it's all about, when we find our seat, it's all about finding length in our spine. And that also helps our sit bones to root. So come, yeah, there, feel that difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the knees down and then the little tilt in the pelvis, yeah. So, and hero's pose is wonderful for rooting down. So let's close our eyes now that we all found our seat. Take a nice deep inhale through both nostrils. And exhale through both nostrils. Another deep inhale through your nose. Hold the breath at the top and then make your exhale longer than your inhale. Another breath like that. Inhale through the nose, hold it at the top. Exhale it out. Inhale, float the arms around and overhead. Bring the palms to touch and then draw the hands down to your heart center in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Allow the palms to separate a little bit, so just the tips of your fingers are touching. Tips of your thumbs resting against your heart space. With the focus on the warrior pose. Warrior poses, the mythology, ties strength, empowerment, focus, and determination into our lives. So part of our yoga practice, maybe one of the reasons for coming to your mat, is to then learn ways that you can practice yoga off your mat in your daily life. So our warrior poses help us to be in tune with that inner strength, so that you can bring that sensation off your mat into your daily life, help you overcome obstacles that are presenting themselves. So set your intention this morning. Whatever resonated with you just then, any of those words, maybe just pick one that you can draw from during your practice today. If you feel like your mind is wandering, you want to bring focus back and come back to that one word, your intention. And let's all dedicate our practice this morning to the earth. The earth is literally common ground for all of us. Also, the air that we breathe, it's all the same. The air I'm breathing is no different than the air you're breathing. So dedicating our practice to earth, the common ground that we all stand on, that we all get support from, and the air in which we breathe. It helps remind us that we are all the same, that we're all humans, standing on the same earth, breathing the same air. And soften your shoulders a little bit more. Let your sit bones root down a little bit more. Lengthen your spine. And then we'll open with the sound of Om. So take a full inhale. And when you exhale, really exhale it all the way out. When you get to the bottom of the breath, push the breath out just a little bit more. And then we'll take an inhale. Let the hands rest on the legs. Just keep the eyes closed for another few breaths, just to feel any sensations. Just checking in with mind, body, spirit. Seeing if you feel any different from when you first came onto your mat. If you don't, that's fine. No judgments, just being your own observer. And then flicker the eyes open. We're gonna make our way into child's pose. So from whatever seat you're in. Take the knees as wide as your mat. Bring your toes to touch. And then start to move your seat back towards your heels, extending the arms out in front of you. If you need to have a little bit of extra support in this pose, you can place a block under your forehead. If you brought a blanket or a towel, you can place it in between the backs of your thighs and your calves. Moving into our breath of victory here, the Ujjayi breath. So that's when we place the constriction in the back of the throat on the exhale. Another 3 full breaths here. Filling up the belly. Feeling that connection with the earth here in this pose as you are moving the heart space toward the earth. And then inhale up to hands and knees, tabletop pose. Stacking shoulders in line with elbows and wrists. Spread your fingers. Press into the thumbs, the index finger, and then the tips of the 3rd, 4th, 5th fingers, creating a little space under your palm, taking some pressure off your wrists. Now bring your attention to your navel, draw the belly button in, and it helps to neutralize the spine. And then on an inhale, lift the crown of the head, open across the heart, collarbone, lifting the tailbone up. On your exhale, round your spine, drawing the belly button in, tucking your chin to your chest. Cat pose. Inhale, lengthening the spine as you come into cow pose. And exhale, feel that engagement in your core as you're coming into cow. So not letting the belly sag, but keeping it engaged. Exhaling into cat pose. One more round, really feeling like you're massaging out your spine, waking it up. Drawing the belly in for cat. And then coming to neutral spine. Inhale, lifting the left arm up. Take your gaze to look up. Feel that opening in the left chest. Exhale, thread it under the right arm, bringing the left side of your face down to the mat, threading the needle. Options for the right hand. It can stay where it is. You can extend that right arm out to the top of your mat, so then both arms are extended. Or you can take that right arm up and around, right arm up and over the back, reaching for the top of your thigh for a bind. So just go to what feels good for your body, honoring your body, your practice. So leveling out the hips. If you feel like your right hip is a little lifted, draw that down, leveling it out. Breathe into areas of tension to help encourage the release. If you have your arm bound, release it. Everybody bring that right hand in closer to the face, preparing to lift. On an inhale, press into the right hand, lift that left arm, sweeping it up and open. And then exhale back to tabletop, find neutral. Draw the belly in, inhale, right arm up, opening that right chest. Exhale, thread it under the left. Level out your hips. And then take whatever option you'd like for that left hand. So keep it where it is or extend it straight out. If you're lifting it up, bring it up and turn the palm to face behind and then lower it down, reaching for the top of the right thigh. And breathing here, inhale and exhale. If you're taking the bind, think about opening that left chest. Connecting with your breath. One more full inhale and exhale, and then unbind. Everybody bring that hand in close by the face, pressing into it. Inhale, right arm up. And come back to tabletop. So draw the navel in and then lift your left knee up and out to the side 90 degrees. Begin to make big circles, drawing that knee in, taking it back. Make big circles 3 times in one direction and then reverse it, opening up that left hip. And then come back to 90 degrees, fire hydrant, and keep it here with the knee bent, or maybe take a breath to extend that left leg out to the side, draw it back in, come back to tabletop, push back to child's pose with your knees close together, bring your arms around the sides of your legs, lowering the crown of the head toward the mat, taking more of a rounded child's pose here. Breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. Come on to the top, the crown of the head a little bit more, rounding, lifting your sit bones up. Tuck your toes under. Wrap your hands around your heels. Lift your sit bones up. Feel that stretch across the shoulder blades. Rabbit pose. And then lower back down, tops of the feet to the mat. And come back to tabletop, and we'll do fire hydrant on the other side. Space your knees about hip distance apart. Draw the navel in, lift that right knee up 90 degrees. Flex that right foot and start to make your big circles. Keep that engagement in the belly. And reverse. And then lifting it up to 90 degrees. Take a breath to extend that right leg out. Draw it back in. Tabletop. And sit back on your heels. Swing your legs around, coming onto that left sit bone, and bring the legs out in front of you. Rock forward. Move the flesh away from your sit bones. Flex the feet, sit up nice and tall, draw that right knee into your chest and place it over the left. So coming into Ardha Matsyendrasana, our twist. So take the right hand behind your right sit bone. Inhale, left arm up by the ear. So feel that length to start. And now twist from the navel up, dropping the elbow to the knee. So pressing into this toe ball mound of the right foot really helps. So we focus our twists from the navel up so that we're getting into the mid and upper part of our spine for the twist and protecting the low back. One more full breath, inhale. And then exhale to center, release that right leg and shake the legs out. Windshield wiper the feet from side to side. And then bring the left knee into the chest, placing it over the right. Left hand behind, starting with finding that length. So bringing that right arm up by the ear and then twist. So moving into our poses mindfully helps with the alignment and then helps us to get more benefits from these poses, what they're designed for. On the inhale, think about lengthening your spine. Nice adjustments. On the exhale, maybe moving into the twist, looking over that left shoulder a little bit. And then on your exhale, come to center and release that leg. Shake it out, windshield wiper the feet from side to side, and then cross the legs sitting in Sukhasana. Taking side bends here. So we're gonna tempt the fingertips to start out to the side. Lengthen the spine. And then on an inhale, let's we'll stretch the right side first. So taking the right arm up by the ear, walk your fingertips out. As you begin coming into the side bend, place your palm down and think about lengthening the side. So reach through the fingertips versus trying to bend all the way down. So the elbow can bend depending on how much space you have on that right side. So it's all about breathing into this side body. So think about your rib cage. Keep your sit bones grounded. And then inhale, lifting through center, bring that left arm up. Start by walking the fingertips out as you reach with the left fingertips. And then when you get to your edge, then maybe bend the elbow a little bit to deepen that stretch. Softening the shoulders. I feel it in my right shoulder. Anybody else? So we're getting long here, breathing into the muscles in our rib cage that tend to get kind of smushed when we walk. We want to open up. So it helps to open up our diaphragm, come through center. And now the neck. So hands just place and rest on your thighs. Drop your chin down to your chest. Take a couple breaths here, feeling the opening in the back of the cervical spine. And then as you inhale, trace the collarbone to the right, taking the ear toward the shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling that stretch from the ear down to the shoulder. And then dropping the chin to the chest, come through center and trace your collarbone to the other side, bringing that ear toward the shoulder. If you're like me, your tendon here is probably popping out. Breathing in and out helps to release that tension that we store there. Come through center, lift the chin up, bring the chin so it's parallel to the floor, and now draw the chin back. Helps to align the cervical spine. And then rock forward, back to tabletop. Find tabletop. Stretch right leg back, come up on your toes. Stretch left leg back, come up on your toes, finding plank pose. Same pressure in the hands. Spread the fingers just like in tabletop. Press into your thumbs, index fingers, and the tips of your third, fourth, fifth fingers. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Extend that right leg back to plank. Bring the left knee to left elbow. Extend that left leg back, firing up our core here. Bring the right knee to right elbow. Extend that right leg back. Bring the left knee to left elbow. Extend it back. Lift your hips up. Come into downward dog. Full extension of the arms, pressing the low belly back toward the thighs. So beautiful extension here, coming into it from plank. Gives you the correct distance between your hands and your feet. So everybody rock forward to plank again. On your exhale, lift your hips, move back into downward facing dog. Beautiful. Take some organic movements here. Pedal out your downward dog by pushing one heel down and bending the knee of the other leg. Have your head between your arms. Gaze is looking back at your knees. And now lift your head and look between your hands and walk one footprint at a time. See if you can go heel to toe as you walk up. And then inhale, lifting up halfway, draw the belly in, lift the arms up shoulder height, holding here, flatten out your back. Soften your shoulders, reach through your fingertips. Press into your feet as you lift all the way to standing. Inhale, arms overhead. Bring the hands down to heart center. And find Tadasana. So look down at your feet. Check in and see if you're symmetrical. Feet are about hip distance apart and your second toe is looking straight ahead, shining straight ahead. So sometimes, without us even knowing it, we might turn our feet out. We might pigeon toe a little bit. So in Tadasana, we want that symmetry. And palms are facing forward. Inhale, take the arms overhead, palms touch. On your exhale, have the arms come out wide, lead with your heart, feel length in your spine as you come down into forward fold Uttanasana. Bend the knees a little bit. Relax the head, let it hang. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Hold opposite elbows, let gravity help bring you deeper into the fold and breathe. Let the head be heavy, releasing tension in the neck. And then put a deeper bend in your knees and roll, release the elbows and roll up to standing. Take the arms overhead, some more side bends here, interlace the fingers. Index fingers pointing straight up. Inhale, feel the length, and then exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, side bend to the right. So just like we did seated, through center, side bend to the left, hold here, and reach a little bit more with the right hand. Or with both hands, really reach out so you're getting length on both sides and you're not collapsing that left side. Beautiful. Come through center. And exhale over to the right, holding here 3 breaths, really reaching through the index fingers so you're lengthening both sides. One more full inhale and exhale. Separate the arms, lengthen as you come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant your hands and step the right leg back, coming to your low lunge. Here's where it's really great to modify with blocks, placing the blocks, framing the left foot. By doing that, it helps you stay a little bit more upright so that you can lower the hips and get that full extension in the right leg. So really press through the heel of your right foot and lengthen that leg. Feel the difference? So you're not locking that knee out necessarily, but you're really extending it. And then everybody drop the right knee down, uncurl the right toes and sweep the arms up by the ears for Anjaneyasana. Put a deeper bend in that left knee, if available. If not, you can stay with your shoulders in line with your hips. But this helps to stretch that front right quad a little bit. And then shift your hips back, reach down for your blocks, slide them back. So half Hanumanasana, come up on your left heel, flexing that left foot. You see my right hip is in line with my right knee. So you can stay here if you're feeling a deep stretch in this left leg, or you can hinge forward, bringing the chest down toward the knee and deepening that stretch for your hamstring. Keep that left foot flexed. Now everybody drop the left toes down toward the mat. Nice stretch for the top of the foot. And then flex that left foot again. Breathing into this half Hanumanasana pose. Inhale to lift up, rock forward on the left foot. Bring the hands down to the mat and tuck your right toes under. So you're lifting the hips up. Step the left foot back, downward facing dog. Look between your hands, either lightly hop the feet forward or walk the foot, walk one foot at a time up. Come to a half lift. Find length in your spine. And then exhale, bend the knees, take the left leg back, low lunge, frame that right foot with blocks. So finding the extension in this left leg, press through the left heel. Really feel that stretch in the top of the leg as you press through the heel. Right knee, 90-degree angle. Now lower the left knee down, uncurl the toe, inhale, sweep the arms by the ears, Anjaneyasana. So you can stay here where you're stacked shoulders in line with hips. You can bend that right knee a little deeper if you want to get a deeper stretch in the left front quad. Another full inhale. And then exhale, shift your hips back, reach for your blocks and slide them under your shoulders. Come on your right heel, flexing the right foot. So this side might be different. You might have more space on this side to hinge, bringing the chest toward that right knee. Left hip and left knee, straight line. And now bring those right toes down to the mat, stretch the top of that foot. And then flex that right foot again. Another full breath here in half Hanumanasana. And then inhale to lift up, rock forward onto the right foot. Place the hands on the mat, tuck the left toes under. Lift your hips up high enough where you can bring that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. So options here. You can take a child's pose. You can stay in downward dog. Or if you'd like to do a vinyasa, float to plank pose. Lower your knees down. Lower your chest and chin. Inhale, slide forward on the belly, and then inhale, pressing up to cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes under, push your seat back to your heels, lift your hips up. If you're in child's pose, join us in downward dog. 5 full breaths here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Sometimes downward dog can serve as a rest pose. When our bodies are warmed up, see where you can soften the pose. Look between your hands, either walk one foot up at a time or bend the knees. Lightly hop the feet forward. Inhale, lifting up half length. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Pressing into the feet, engage your core as you lift with a flat back all the way to standing. Float the arms overhead and then exhale, hands to heart center. Find Tadasana. So our side hip series, take a big step back with your left foot and then face the TV wall. So turn both feet to face the TV and turn your toes in a little bit so you feel pigeon-toed. Bring one hand to your belly and one hand to your back. Find your sacrum, that bony part of the low back. Turn the Deb, stay with us. Turn the computer. So with our toes turned in a little bit, see about lengthening the tailbone down a little bit so you find nice length in your spine. Bring your hands to your hips. Thumbs are coming in toward the sacrum and your hands are on the outside hips. Inhale and lift the chest up. Like you're puffing the chest a little bit. And then on your exhale, hinge at your hips. Keep that opening in the heart space as you come down into a fold. And come halfway. So your back is flat. Release the hands, bring fingertips down to the mat. So really feel like you're pressing into your feet, like you feel that extension in the legs. Check in and see where you feel, if you feel like your seat, if you're sitting back a little too much or forward, you want to be right, you want to be balanced between the two. If you feel like you can fold a little deeper, maybe bring palms to the mat and let your head drop. You can use a block under your hands here. Beautiful. So between our downward dogs, the stretches we've done so far, we've really warmed up the hamstrings. We've warmed up the legs for our warrior poses. Bring your hands to your hips, engage your core, press into your feet, lift with a flat back. And let the arms come down to the sides. Turn your right toes to face the mirror. Turn your left toes in just a little bit more. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure your hips are still facing the TV wall. And now as you look at the TV, bend that right knee toward a 90-degree angle. Don't lean into it. Keep your shoulders stacked with your hips. So see the difference when I'm leaning to the right versus upright, stacking shoulders with my hips. Now flip the arms up and look out over your right fingers. So turning your gaze to the mirror. Look down at your knee. Your knee should be tracking with your toes. Right knee, maybe deepen it just a little bit, coming to a 90-degree angle. So find that focus, find that strong determination in this pose by finding a drishti. So a point in front of you that's not moving. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Exhale, rebend it. This time add the arms. Inhale, float the arms up by the ears. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, float arms up by the ears. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, warrior two. Bend that right elbow, bring the right forearm to the right thigh, palm face up. Bring that left arm by the ear. Extended side angle. So we're not looking at how deep we can go here. We're looking more at keeping that left chest open. Drawing the right hip under a little bit. Beautiful. One more full inhale. And exhale, and then inhale, coming back to warrior two and straightening that right knee. Flip the arms down, turn the right toes in. We'll take a wide-legged forward fold in between. This time, interlace your fingers behind your back. Straighten the arms. So with control, draw the belly in as you start to hinge up your hips. The arms can stay resting on the back, but feeling the shoulders move toward each other, or option two, let the arms float over the head. Either position for the arms, think about drawing your shoulder blades toward each other and down the back. Beautiful. So it helps the shoulders move away from the ears. And then as if somebody has a string attached to your fingers, pulling you back up. Coming back to standing and then turning left toes to the windows. Turn your right toes in a little bit and just check out the position of your feet. So our heels should be in line with each other. So just look down and imagine that you're standing on one plank of wood. And then begin with your hands on your hips. Turn your hips to the TV. And now bend that left knee. So it's very subtle. Come back to straightening that left knee. Keep your hips opening to the side. Bend that left knee again. Beautiful. Float the arms up. Shoulder height. Look behind you. Make sure this right arm is coming straight out from your shoulder. Nice. And then look back so your gaze is over the left fingertips. So find a drishti now. Something to focus on. Think about the intention that you set. Press into the outer edge of the right foot. See if that changes anything in the pose. Inhale, straighten that left leg. Exhale, rebend it. Inhale, straighten the left leg, bring the arms up by the ears. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten the left leg, arms come up by the ears. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift the arms up, straighten that left leg. Exhale, warrior two, and now extended side angle, bend the left elbow. Rest the left forearm on the left thigh, left palm face up. Right arm comes by the right ear. So really picture from the outside of the right foot, up the right side body. We did all those warm-ups to open up the side. So think about it's the same opening here. If you're putting a lot of weight in that left elbow, lift it off your thigh just for a moment. And then place it back down where you're not putting all your weight into it. So you're using the muscles on the right side instead of dumping all your weight into that thigh. Inhale, lift back that warrior two, straighten that left leg. Relax the arms, turn the left toes in. Actually, now bring the heels, turn the heels in, and the toes are sticking straight out. So we're gonna take star pose and then goddess. So lift the arms up, fingers spread wide. Exhale, cactus arms, bend the knees so we track with the toes. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, goddess. So try not to stick your butt out too much. Just drop your seat in goddess. Inhale into star. Exhale, goddess pose. Inhale into star. This time for goddess. Audible sigh out through the mouth. Inhale to star pose. Relax your arms and heel toe, your feet together. Coming to the center of your mat and then come to the top of your mat. Finding Tadasana, mountain pose. With the arms, just relax. Instead of turning the palms out to the front, just let the hands face the legs. Close your eyes and picture that focus that you had in Warrior Two. Just feel that sensation for a moment. Open the eyes and then take your block, place it on the outside of your left foot. So setting up for eagle pose for our balance. So it's on the left side of your foot so that you can place your toes on it when you cross your legs as an option. So finding Tadasana, we're going to start by lifting the right knee to a 90-degree angle. Then the left knee. Now wrap that right leg around the front of the left leg, placing the toes, resting them on your block. Arms come in front of you. Cross your right elbow on top of your left, bend at the elbows. Press the backs of the hands into each other or wrap. So you're reaching for palms. Either way, you get a stretch in the back of your shoulders. Sit a little lower. Beautiful. So finding a drishti here. Sometimes it's in between your arms. Sometimes maybe the gaze blurs. Straighten the left leg. Release your arms. Let your eagle fly by taking the right leg out to the side, arms wide, and relax. Shake it out. And then move the block to the outside of the right foot. So a lot going on in eagle pose, I know. So think about the other side that you just did. Think about what part of the pose was really challenging for you. And on this side, see if you can soften and meet effort with ease. So Tadasana, lift the left knee to a 90-degree angle to start, and bend the right knee. Wrap the left leg in front of the right, bringing your toes to the block. So you want to be sitting a little bit, not leaning forward too much, but upright. Arms come in front of you. Cross left elbow on top of right, bend the elbows, lift them up. Press backs of the hands into each other or wrap to find your palms. So we're lifting the elbows up a little bit as we're sitting down. Breathe. Inhale, lifting up. Release the arms, release the legs, and shake it out. Shake the legs out, shake the arms out. You have such laser focus this week. All right. Come to the Tadasana. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Come into Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step both feet back to plank, and now lower to your forearms for forearm plank. Palms can touch, or you can interlace your fingers, or you can have the palms on the mat. Hips are low, beautiful. So lower the hips. Might need to walk your feet back a little bit. Beautiful. One more full breath here, and then flip to the tops of your feet. Lower your knees down. Lower your thighs, your hips, and then bring your elbows underneath your shoulders, coming right into Sphinx pose. So in Sphinx, it's a mild back bend. If you're feeling any kind of clenching in your low back, try lengthening the tailbone. Bring your elbows in. I see a lot of elbows flaring out. Bring the elbows in a little closer. Nice. Nice. Michelle, walk your arms out a little bit forward. Yeah, so elbows are under the shoulders. And now imagine energetically pulling the mat back toward you. Do you feel that lengthening in the spine as you do that? Gaze is just ahead of your mat so that your cervical spine is an extension of the spine. On your exhale, lower down slowly. Bring the elbows out wide and make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on the backs of your hands. Rock your hips from side to side. Bend your knees, windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And then lower the feet and roll over onto your back. So we're going to set up for rolling bridges. So bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat. And bring your heels towards your sit bones so that you can reach your heels with your longest finger. And keep your knees in line with your hips. So in rolling bridges, we press up just like we do in bridge, but when we get, after we lift our hips up, then we start to move our arms overhead. So press into your feet, lift your hips, and then float the arms overhead. And then begin to lower the arms. When you get about halfway, then lower the back one vertebrae at a time. So your back and your hands are coming to the mat at the same time. Inhale, lift the hips, float the arms overhead. Exhale, start with your arms lowering and then lower both arms and back together. Inhale, lift the hips as the middle part of your back lifts. Float the arms overhead. Keeping the gaze looking straight up and moving with your breath. So 4 more at your own pace. Find a rhythm. Moving with the breath. Nice alignment, everyone, keeping knees in line with hips. And probably last one for everybody. Once you've lowered the back down and the arms, draw the knees into the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, massaging out the sacrum. And then lower the feet to the mat and take your feet as wide as your mat. And then let your knees come together. So we're going to windshield wiper our legs from side to side slowly. So drop over to one side, keeping the feet as wide as your mat and letting the one knee drop to the inside. So a couple more times of windshield. So if your feet start to come towards center, make sure your feet are as wide as your mat. There you go, yeah. And then when you drop down to the left, hold them there. So drop your knees down to the left side. So the right knee is coming toward the heel. And then take the arms overhead. Beautiful. Breathe there. Lower the arms back down. Use your core. Feel it in your core as you bring the knees through center. Pause in the middle and exhale the breath out. Feel it soften your belly. And now drop the knees over to the right, letting the left knee come down the inside. Feet are still as wide as your mat. Float the arms overhead. Breathing in, and breathing out. Lower the arms. Bring the knees back to center. We're going to do something a little different today for Shavasana. I learned it over the weekend. It's called constructive rest. Have your feet as wide as your mat and just bring your knees together to touch. Your arms, you can try different options with your arms right now, either resting hands on your belly. See how that feels. Maybe arms are more comfortable coming alongside. The palms can either be face down or turn to the side or face up. See what feels good. The whole idea is to find comfort here so that you can rest and digest. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale it out slowly. So in this constructive rest pose, focus on how soft the belly feels, how relaxed your inner groin muscles. Feel that connection with the earth and the air we breathe. Find comfort in the support the earth is giving you right now so that you can rest and digest. With each inhale and exhale, feel yourself land. Feel yourself arrive. Learning to relax so you no longer have to hold yourself up. Allow for the space and warmth needed to receive compassion and breath without judgment. Begin to invite a deeper breath in. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Slowly heel toe your feet closer in together and then draw the knees into your chest. And rotate your ankles, circling them around. Float the arms overhead. Draw your knees in a little closer. Lift your head, forehead up to your knees. Slowly rock onto your right side. Extend the right arm out. Use it as a pillow for your head. Allow the breath to deepen. Feeling this comfort of this fetal position. Recall your intention. Use your left hand to help bring you up to a seat. Keeping the eyes closed or at a soft gaze. Crossing the legs, rooting down through your sit bones, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, palms touch. And as you draw your hands down to heart center, thank yourself. Feel gratitude, bowing the head softly. Taking a moment to just acknowledging being on your mat. Feel the practice with one Om. Take a full inhale, exhale it all the way out. And inhale. Om. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to lead you in your practice. Namaste. Happy Monday. Thank you all so much. What'd you think about that at the end instead of extending the legs out? How'd that feel for everyone? Harder, okay? Did you find it easier to relax or be still? Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Deb. Thanks for joining us.
I think it was great.
Good. Glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, glad you're back. Thank you.
And then tomorrow I am subbing for Sue's class, so I'll do online. So if you want to join, it's going to be a little bit of a mixed level flow. So
Okay. I love that class. My mother's arriving tonight, so I'm not sure what my schedule will be. She's
Okay.
92 and I gotta be at 10 of.
I don't know. I'm not versed in Chi yoga, so it'll be more of a mixed level flow. And it's at 9:30.
All right, thank you.
And then I'm off next week.
Oh, you're off next week? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.